اللهم أهل علينا شهر رمضان بالأمن والإيمان والسلامة والإسلام والتوفيق لما تحب وترضى يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم أعنا فيه على الصيام. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يصومه ويقومه إيمانا واحتسابا. اللهم سلمنا لرمضان وسلمه لنا وتسلمه منا متقبلا. اللهم اجعله شهر عز للإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم اجعله شهرا للنصر والتمكين للإسلام والمسلمين في كل مكان يا رب العالمين.
Narrated that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, used to practice itikaaf in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and he used to look for the night of Qadr in the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. You guys can find that in Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari, number 2232, Hadith 237. Now, I want to ask you, since we're talking about making this matters, give us some entails on the last 10 nights of Ramadan.
MashaAllah, the last 10 nights of Ramadan and itikaaf, I will try to touch both topics. The last 10 nights of Ramadan, we search out for Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr is like 1,000 months. So Laylatul Qadr, what we call the night of power, is a night that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer the supplication of the person. There's some authentic narrations that say that it's on the odd night. The odd nights. Any particular night, we don't know, but we say the odd nights. So each night in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, that each person should be spending time searching out, standing up at night, praying, supplicating to Allah, that Allah answer his dua, that which he is seeking from his Lord, who is able to do all things, that we seek it out in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So like you said, the Prophet ﷺ in the nights of Ramadan used to collect, gather up his women, tighten his izar, to do acts of worship. To do what? Acts of worship. So the 10 nights of Ramadan is very important as a hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. That Aisha into Ramadan the last 10 days, he extended his nights for worship. He wakes up his family. He tightened his weight belt to do what? Acts of worship. So this is something that we should look forward for. Now, related to the issue of itikaaf, itikaaf have conditions in Islam. Itikaaf have conditions. Itikaaf meaning you're spending the last 10 nights inside the masjid doing the acts of ibadah. So itikaaf, staying the night in the masjid, worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all forms of worship and remembrance, from reading Quran, from making dua, from making tasbih, doing these things, praising Allah, from majalis al-ilm, from the circles of knowledge. A person, he's busy the last 10 nights in this. The condition of itikaaf, when a person enters itikaaf, he cannot leave outside from the masjid. Meaning that, hey, I'm going to go to work and come home at night into the masjid and do itikaaf every night. Go to work every night. No. The one who stays inside and do itikaaf, he stays inside the masjid. He doesn't go outside the masjid. If the masjid has, for example, hallway, kitchen, other rooms, he does not enter these places. He stays in a place where there is a place to worship. It's only permissible to leave the place of itikaaf to go to places like the bathroom, to take a shower, and come right back. The other etiquette of itikaaf is that there is no sexual act for the person who is doing itikaaf. So we understand in the nighttime of Ramadan, relationship with one's spouse is permissible. But the one who is doing itikaaf, maybe he lives close to the masjid, he goes home to take a shower. If his masjid don't have a place to shower up, he cannot have no intercourse with his spouse at nighttime or any part for the one who is performing itikaaf. Now, the itikaaf inside the masjid is recommended for the masjid. If it's a musalla, a place where the Salatul Jummah is not held, a place which is not a masjid, then there is no itikaaf except for in the masjid where the 5 salat are held and Salatul Jummah. Salatul Jummah is held. So there's no itikaaf except for in those type of places, a masjid, a place where there's Salatul Jummah and the 5 daily prayers. Also, can women come for itikaaf? as long as they have their husband permission, but they cannot be in the state of al-hayd. Al-hayd cannot be with their menses. They have to be free from their menses to do itikaaf. So itikaaf is something recommended in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. It's not far for the Muslim, but it's something that is highly recommended. One should try some parts in his life. I did maybe itikaaf 2 or 3 times in my lifetime. You should try your best, and you spend the night praying. Also, the individual who's doing itikaaf, he's not busy with idle speech. The one who's doing itikaaf, he is not busy with idle speech, talking about the current events, news, what's going on in the community. No, it's a time for doing worship. It is not time for this talking, this talking about anything, socializing. No, it is a time for ibadah. And for those people who see people doing itikaf, do not bother them with the knowledge, bother them with the speech of the dunya, the worldly affairs. And the masjid, inside the masjid, is not to talk about worldly affairs inside and outside of Ramadan. So I hope I covered most of the things related to itikaf. And also remember, for the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the zakatul fitra. The zakatul fitra. Zakatul fitra is one give. Zakatul fitra is an expiation for your slip-ups. I got angry at this person. I said this to this person I shouldn't say. I looked at something I shouldn't look at. So the zakatul fitra, it is going to vary depending where you live. In the time of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, zakatul fitr was given by food. As-sa'a of food. Sa'a of food is about 4 mudda, or we say kilo nus of food, like rice, like beans, like this, not cooked food, right? Like beans and rice, and food that is normal to the people, about 1.5 kilos. Some masajid give money. Now, there's a difference of opinion amongst the scholars related to the money. Some scholars say, well, people already have food, so you could give them money instead. So it might vary as the price for zakatul fitra. In my masjid is going to be $10. Another masjid might be $11. Another masjid, another place, it might be $20. But it's related to the equivalent of a kilo and a half. It's equivalent to 1.5 kilos, and Allah knows best. Who pays zakatul fitra? Who pay it out, and how much or what do you pay it out to? How much do you pay it out? All right? So zakatul fitra is paid out. Every Muslim individual in your household. So for a man, he must pay for his wife and his children. And if the wife is pregnant, you even pay on the behalf of the janeen, the fetus in the stomach. You pay even on the behalf of the fetus of the stomach, each individual. And you must give the zakatul fitra out before the Eid Salah. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever give it after the Eid Salah, this is considered to be sadaqah and not zakatul fitra. And who pays the zakatul fitra? Those people who have money. And who's zakatul fitra for? It's for the Muslim who are poor, who have no money, who are needy people, who have nothing. You should give it to them maybe between the last 10 nights, a couple of days before the Eid Salah. You can give it out. You should go seek out individuals who need it, or some masjid collect money and they give it out. Like in our masjid, we would give it out to some poor Muslims in Haiti and Yemen due to them having some problems in Haiti. New Muslims due to Islam, and due to the current climate in Yemen, where many Muslims are dying or sick, and due to the current political condition. So zakatul fitra is something that's given on every individual Muslim individual in the household. All right. So if there's a husband, you can't make your wife give you the money. You can't make your wife give you the money. You must pay for everybody in your house, all your women and all your children in your household. So that's summarized on everything, inshallah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a shout out on supplication. This is a random name from the book Facebook, and then I want you to. I'm going to take a break, and then I want you to come. I want to come back.